Hey, this is Dynamic, and welcome to my review of the LSA HP-2 Ultra. Let's get to it. Starting with the build. This headphone is made entirely out of wood in the cups and has a metal band. It feels fine, but it looks like it should weigh more than it is. You pick it up, and it feels quite light. I haven't seen any problems with the build, but it definitely feels like it should be a more hardy headphone based on what it looks like. On to Soundstage and Imaging, beginning with Thriller. The footsteps at the beginning of the song just walk around you in this enormous room. The thunder is outside of that room, far off in the distance. The wolves are outside of that room. Yet all of it comes across clearly and doesn't feel reduced in volume. This headphone soundstage is absolutely spectacular, particularly for a closed back. Bubbles and Chocolate Chip Trip provide an environmental stage that is simply all around you. It is really a complete and coherent feeling. But what really sold me on the soundstage capabilities are movies, specifically Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. The experience is about as good as I have heard outside of a fully Dolby Atmos enabled theater. The background noises are present, the foreground is strong, the rumble that you get out of horses or something else galloping past is just spectacular. One downside is if I'm listening to something else for a while and I put these back on, everything sounds really awkward for a minute. There's just this period of time where my mind adjusts and then it clicks. Everything's back to normal. And I want everything to be like this. It's quite a unique experience. On to resolution and clarity, starting with Master of Puppets. This is a complex song that has a lot of layering and needs a lot of clarity and detail to really feel everything going on. And the HP-2 does deliver. But the way it delivers is quite a bit different than something like the Drop Ether CX. The HP-2 has this liquid feeling where the whole presentation comes together in this gorgeous, complete environmental sound. The Drop Ether CX, by contrast, sort of separates and throws detail in your face. I happen to enjoy both presentations, but this one is more of a laid back, let's just enjoy the music, while the CX is more of a, hey, I want to hear every single detail going on. On to Tonality, and unfortunately, I don't have a graph I trust for this headphone. So, more eye candy. Starting with the bass. The bass may be the primary reason people buy this headphone. It has an incredible amount of slam and rumble, but it is still extraordinarily articulate. It does this best of both worlds where it can give you the detail, but also hit you with hard hitting notes. Take Dillard's 0742, for example. That is basically some motorboats on your ears rumbling or slamming at you the entire song. It's pretty fantastic and really an incredible experience. Then you have Massive Attack, which has these sustained bass notes, which it handles incredibly well. And I've found some headphones really don't do well with that. And then there's stuff like Billie Eilish, anything by Billie Eilish, NDA, Bad Guy, whatever you want to play. The beat and the rhythm just comes along, and it's exceptional. It just draws you in. The dynamic range shown is probably better than anything else I have heard. With the mids, I want to start with a flaw. I use pentatonics, almost anything by pentatonics, as test music. And this, on the HP-2, it's not my favorite. Vocal bass is overemphasized because this is a bass emphasized headphone, and it doesn't sound all that natural. It sounds good, but it sounds like somebody's amplifying the vocal bass rather than sounding like it were happening in the room. The rest of the mids sounds pretty balanced. There's nothing shouty. You go all the way up to the upper mids. This headphone, I doubt it would annoy much of anyone. It is a relaxed sound. It's not going to get in your face, but it is still present and it is still very apparent. On to the treble with Piano Guy's 1,000 Years. Now, in the soundstage, I'd mentioned that this is open and airy, and it is. The treble is just present enough to give you that sort of wonderful open feeling, but it's not some super sparkly treble. It's relaxed. It's not trying to give you the ultimate sense of air. And for the balance of this headphone, it works very well. On to comfort. This headphone has a very light fit, so much so that people bend in the frame in order to give a tighter fit and perhaps increase bass slam and impact a little bit. For me, this is extraordinary, but there may be seal issues with people with glasses or who are sensitive to the tighter fit once you bend it in. At the end of the day, this headphone is for people who want a fun, engaging, dynamic headphone that sacrifices very little in technicals and other capabilities and focuses on a smooth, liquid, engaging sound. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this.